All right, Scott MacKenzie here with generating some great insights into the manufacturing world. We're at MD&M, and it is a fantastic event. If you have not done so, you need to go around the halls. You need to go around the halls and be able to check out all of the mad technology that exists out there. You will not be disappointed. All right, we've got an interview. Novine is the individual that we're going to be talking to. Novine, give us a little background on who you are, because that's the responsibility. I don't want to take responsibility for getting this guys straight. Go, talk to us a little.
Sure thing. Thank you, Scott. And first of all, thank you for having me. My name is Novine Movahedi, and I'm with a company called Terumon Neuro. We're in the neuroendovascular space, and we create really tiny devices that go into the brain to treat diseases like ischemia or stroke. We've been in business for about 25 years now, based here in Southern California, and we have a parent company named Terumon Corporation.
How long have you been with them?
I've been there for about a little bit over 2.5 years now, and I'm the Senior HR Business Partner Manager.
That's a mouthful.
Yes,
it can be. That's a heck of a business card. My goodness. All right. Take us through a little bit of the challenges that we are facing specifically, and I think from a macro perspective, right? We're looking at a lot of the resource challenges. How does your company deal with those challenges? What are you doing to make a difference?
Sure, absolutely. So I should add that I support the global supply chain and operations,
it's on your badge.
In the U.S.
It's
yeah,
right there.
Yeah, and exactly. So one of the challenges we face, especially after the pandemic, was just a general interest in manufacturing jobs. And so it was tough to challenge and attract talent. That with the recent increased rates of wages for fast food, a lot of the labor going from manufacturing, that manual labor was not as attractive for the rates. So one of the things that I had to do to look into this was actually partner up with our agency that we work with to bring on TEMS and look at our starting rates. And we hadn't touched them for a few years now. So I had to really partner up, just like how corporations partner up with their vendors or OEM suppliers, and work with them and use their data to look at the rates, look at our attrition, and really address that. And so I worked with the business, worked with the agency, and we put a proposal together, and actually were able to successfully increase the rates and attract better talent and more talent.
But isn't it a global company?
It is.
Are you dealing
Correct.
with resources challenges globally?
Yeah, so my scope is US based only. We are global, and we do manufacture in Costa Rica as well. A challenge there is, for example, when they're saturated organizations in the free trade zone. So when another company or competitor comes out and opens up shop, the distance between their home to the factory, if somebody is closer, they're going to go to that location. Or, again, it's a little bit more cents or whatever the currency is there on the dollar, they're going to attract talent away from the factory. So there's a constant kind of shifting of labor, whether it's here or globally, based on who can pay the most at that time.
Do you find a benefit associated with trying to have internal type of education? I mean, isn't this specialized knowledge? I mean, how do you deal with the education component?
You know, that's actually an interesting point, and that's one of the
that's
other
why I get
challenges.
Paid the big bucks. It's an interesting point.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the other challenge we're facing, the skill gaps. So if you look at our tenure at our organization, people on average have about 20, 25 years they've been at the organization. And the manual process that requires manual hand dexterity, that you can't just pick anybody off the street and they'll be able to learn that. So there's a learning curve and a training that needs to be able to perfect creating these really tiny, complicated devices. More so too when we have to train our global manufacturing partners, because when we want to do high volume manufacturing down there as well. So that training and skills gap is important, that we have a robust training program and that we're doing what's called knowledge sharing to kind of train other talent that's coming in through the doors who don't have that specialized knowledge.
Are you going to be dealing with the Silver Tsunami, individuals that are, hey, I've been with the company for X amount of years, I'm looking to see brighter futures. You know, are you dealing with the Silver Tsunami type of craze?
That is definitely something we're looking at, and some of the other medical devices in the industry are looking at. And so we are tracking that as people and associates reach retirement age, and how do we kind of both plan for that. So thinking about, again, capturing their specialized knowledge.
Yes.
And then creating those knowledge sharing programs, or like a playbook that, okay, this is a specialized knowledge. Do we record what they're doing? Do we kind of use technology or AI to videotape that, so that when new people come after people have retired and left, that specialized knowledge isn't leaving the door?
So you are, as a company, looking at platforms to be able to sort of extract that knowledge from the workforce and be able to speed up that learning curve,
Yes.
Correct?
Yes, absolutely correct.
And have you, how long has that been in sort of implemented?
Sure. It's in the beginning stages.
See.
Yes, it's in the beginning stages,
Yeah.
because as you know, there have been other supply chain or logistics issues that we've been working on. And so, but that is definitely something that is a priority and we're looking at. Another thing goes down to retention. You know, turnover
Yes.
rates have increased. And that not only impacts us as an organization, but our vendors and our 3PL partners as well. So it's an ecosystem.
You bring up an absolutely incredible or interesting point.
Sure.
How are you dealing with the vendors? They're dealing with the same challenges. Are you assisting, or are you having conversations with them that revolve around, hey, we like you as a vendor, you know? We'd love to retain you as a vendor. But you know, how do you deal with that?
You know, absolutely. I think one of the first things, and that was an example that I ran into with working with our temp agency. Yeah. I think one of the mindset shift is to not think of them as a outside agency, but part of the organization. And when I started to think of that, it changed my mindset of how I partner up with them, setting expectations. So when I asked or needed that certain data or information, I said, hey, you know, this isn't going to be good enough to go in front of the CEO. I need more information. And so when I thought of them more as an extension of our own organization, it created a strong partnership to solve and get to the root of the problem. Yeah. And that is exactly how we work with our 3PL partners as well. It's more become more of a partnership.
3PL. What is that? What does that mean?
The 3PL is a third-party logistics.
Got it.
And I'll give you a prime example.
Yep.
We had both a finished goods and raw materials, so receiving and shipping in our organization. But when we switched over to 3PL, we closed down half of that warehouse. And so as an HR business partner, that's when I would work with the business or the leaders to figure out what's the best way to do change management to have a smooth transition, to both transition our organization, but also ramp up with the 3PL.
Okay, so let's put your future hat on.
Sure.
And what are sort of the roadblocks that you see that can help individuals out here in this particular world and saying, hey, FYI.
Yes, yeah, right. Yeah. I think the biggest roadblock and challenge is going to be those organizations or people that are stuck in the current ways. The change and innovation and transformation, not only in healthcare, but across the industry, whether it's through AI, whether it's geopolitical aspects, if organizations and those leaders and individuals aren't ready to adapt or transform either the strategies, the culture, the mindset, they will be left behind.
Yeah, see, this is interesting because there's always that speed, there's that velocity that exists today in innovation. Like you're still wrestling with, how do I grab that tribal knowledge, bring it in, and then be able to bring individuals on to be able to fulfill that work safely. Yes. And you're not dealing with just a whatever. You're dealing with something that has to be precise, correct?
You're absolutely right. And you bring up, again, a key point. Safety is number one. And again, when you have kind of that aging population, people can be more prone to injuries or accidents. Interestingly enough, you know, accidents don't only happen on the production floor. They actually happen outside in the hallways. People are tripping to their car, for example. So safety impacts everywhere. And hopefully with technology and raising awareness of that, we can become more specific to targeting that and having solutions to prevent that as well.
Hey, you guys have a booth here?
I believe we don't have a booth, but a lot of our partners are here.
How about,
Yes.
ouch. I would have just said, hey, go to the booth, man. You're going to find out some great stuff about
Sure.
what's going taking place in your company.
Yeah, well, check out Terumon Neuro. That's our organization, and we're in the neuroendovascular space, but we work with a lot of the vendors and partners here as well, so we're happy to be here and talk
But
with them.
you've been roaming the wall. I mean, there's a huge hall over here that has a bunch of stuff. It's cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you geek out on it?
I'm looking forward to exploring. It's always fascinating seeing everything that the expo brings and bringing people together. Again, it's that partnership and collaboration.
What always fascinates me is the fact that they bring all this stuff in. You can kick the tires. You can have that conversation. They're producing, they're manufacturing right there on the spot.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. And a lot of our leaders, they have meetings with those vendors as well. So it's helpful to kind of have them and have that FaceTime with them as well. Or sometimes like, hey, where's my package? It's stuck. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You absolutely were fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Scott.
You
It was awesome.
made my job easy.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's been my pleasure as well. So thank you for speaking with me.
Excellent, man. All right.
Sure.
All right, we're going to have a lot coming your way at MD&M Brews and Cruise, so stay tuned.